Alrighty, let's get into this. Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters and fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again and radiating love as always. Today is April 30th of 2020, and I come to you all today with this channeled message about nobility in a world that seems to lack it. My friends, we are at a crossroads right now. We are at a major crossroads, and we each have the choice, but we will make a collective choice. But we each have the choice right now at this crossroads to either allow what is happening to continue to happen, or to stand up, to fight back, and to get our power back, and to truly step into what nobility truly is. Guys, this is crazy. I'm recording this right now on here live, but I'm also recording it on my video software program just because I wonder if this video will get taken down. And maybe even just me mentioning the potentiality for this to get taken down may cause it to get flagged. But it doesn't matter because I have it backed up right now. I have this thing backed up. So if you listen to this, or if you happen to miss it, I have it and I can send it to you. I can send it to you. We have reached a critical juncture where we have been forced into a sort of situation where the mirror is so pressed up against our faces that we cannot even discern what is real and what is not real. We have been forced into our homes. We have been forced to separate ourselves. We have been forced away from human to human contact, which is very important. How literally hugging somebody for 15 to 30 seconds can actually make you feel better. And it does, doesn't it? Remember when you were a child and you hugged your parents, or hugged a loved one, or hugged a friend? You remember how that felt after a while, just sitting in that embrace? Whether you were maybe you fell down and hurt your knee and your mom came up and gave you a hug, or your dad gave you a hug and told you it was going to be okay. Or maybe you was really happy because you won something and you hugged them. And of course, everything in between and outside of those. It really is a powerful, powerful vibration, a powerful frequency, a powerful wave. And now we are being told that we are a danger to those around us. My friends, now more than ever, we need human contact. We need to hug each other. We need to hold each other's hands. Link up hand to hand, and run that electrical current throughout all of us as we hold onto each other hand in hand, linked to our hearts and linked to our breath as we chant a collective hell no to this coming system that they want to implement. It is time now to become noble in a noblest world. They will have you think that whether you're feeling good or not good, that you can be a carrier of this. And maybe there is some legitimacy to this. I'm not going to say that something isn't going around. But what's more dangerous here, and of course the loss of life is always tragic, But we are getting ready to step into a world where those born into it will already be dead, pretty much. We're stepping into that world where you're born dead and you're never truly living. Those of us alive now have experienced glimpses of living, of aliveness, of that vibrancy, and we have even bastardized and demonized the whole thing of death. For death is actually a beautiful thing, and there's no such thing as death, for we are all eternal. And you can even look into nature for this. Nature which wastes nothing, and yet we waste so much. We waste so much, but nature doesn't waste a damn thing. So why have we ostracized ourselves from nature so? And how I believe that, yes, the tools that we have are not inherently evil, but they are being used for evil deeds, goods, things, purposes. Whereas we can actually use this technology for the good of humanity and for the good of this world and for the good of nature. But we have done a damn good job at handing over our rights to those who believe that they are noble in their causes to unite humanity in the way that they see fit when we're already fucking united in the first place. They want to separate us and then reunite us. But the fact of the matter is that we are already united and we are already one. Think about it. When you listen to a beautiful song, a beautiful piece of music, or you watch a child smile or laugh, and particularly hearing a baby's laugh, think about that feeling that comes up. Do you think that feeling is something that is per se coming from outside of you? Is that baby truly outside of you, or is it just a perception of such? That feeling comes from within. You are feeling the happiness of that child as well, and it comes from within. That is your connection. That is your connection. But now they're trying to take away this connection and hand you a new connection, one that will seemingly be able to have you link up to everyone in the world around you, so you may never feel alone. And yet, why do people now more than ever feel more alone than ever? They keep making these commercials about we're all in this together and all this stuff. I like to call bullshit on it. We were always in this together. There was never a moment where we weren't all in this together. Last I checked, we're all, at least in this particular experience, in this human incarnation, the last I checked, we all lived on the earth, in the earth, inside the firmament, the atmosphere. Last I checked, we were all roommates. We always have been roommates. Last I checked. Which means that you've been roommates with some of the greatest people to ever walk the earth and some of the most evil people that ever walked the earth. And you got to know that that energy, those inspirations that they had, whether they were towards the light or the dark, are still prevalent. And you can pick up on these energies. And right now, the predominant wave that everyone's picked up on is fear. Because we have outsourced our courage and bravery and nobility for the sake of being safe, for the sake of security, because we are afraid of that which is unknown. We are afraid of that which we can't logically understand, to where it takes something quintessentially unique, a quintessentially unique experience to tap in and to experience the divine, that which it is really hard to encapsulate in words, but we do the best we can through poetry, art, architecture. My friends, I've been wondering if I was going to come back to Earth after this incarnation. I told myself that this was either the last time or second to last time. But the more I think about it and the more I see memes of, you see them kind of float around these light worker circles about, oh man, this is the last time I come back to Earth, and then the next panel they're a baby again. I think the reason why people don't want to come back to Earth is because we have synonymized it with suffering. We have equated it to suffering, pain, anguish, some type of terrible karmic cycle that we can't seem to break out of. But Earth was not always like this. Earth was not always like this. In fact, it was once the hot spot. Now we've become pretty much the ghettos. And don't get it twisted. Just because there are 7 billion people here on this Earth plus, and it seems like there's more people here than in years past. Don't get it twisted. Of all the other beings that you can't see with your 5 senses or detect with your 5 senses, a lot of them aren't here right now. We can still communicate with them if we allow ourselves to tap into that wave and call them up, but a lot of them aren't here. No, they see how ghetto it's gotten here, guys. The fairies, the dragons, the leprechauns, the trolls, the giants, the kitsunes, the werewolves, the vampires, although they are going to come back. But right now, we are in such a depraved state to where we would see one of these beings and we would be afraid. Why do you think they haven't told us about aliens yet? Or they're just now starting to try to say something about it? How in the hell are we going to be able to accept and embrace these other beings if we can't even accept and embrace ourselves? Especially now at a time where we're being told to cut ourselves off from other people. Social distancing, putting on masks and gloves, all these different things. People claiming to have knowledge of these medical things when really it's a form of medical tyranny that we are experiencing, where all the medicine is in nature. And while, yes, everything that we see ultimately comes from nature, some of these things are so far removed from it that you wouldn't be able to tell it came from it in the first place. Now, like I said, these tools can be used for positive, for noble causes, for uplifting your fellow man, your fellow woman, your fellow child, for inspiring and motivating others, for guiding people so that they may experience that quintessential feeling, that quintessential moment of communicating with the divine, source, universe, God, oneness, stillness, everything that always has been and always will be. There is no such thing as a Big Bang. The Big Bang is a bastardization. It's not true. The universe it did not begin with the Big Bang. Commonly accepted in circles, a commonly accepted theory, which of course, if you think about it, it's funny because I was listening to something earlier today, and the dude on this podcast says something very smart. He said that theories that have been around the longest are actually some of the most dangerous, because if you can't prove a theory, but yeah, it just hangs around that long, then obviously you got to go back to the drawing board. So there are certain theories that we have had for such a damn long time that we continue to pass off as truth, facts, but they're not. But we pass them off as such, and they become dangerous because a theory isn't per se a fact. That's why they call it the Big Bang Theory, not the Big Bang Fact. But the facts of our universe are being proven daily. But a lot of these experiments are being hidden and, what's the word I would say, censored. How we are electrical beings, how it's a wave, how the universe is twofold, like the inhale and exhale. That's one of your greatest examples of how the universe works. Inhale, then there's stillness. Exhale, and then there's stillness. And then it gets to a point where you have to inhale again. Nothing inhales forever, and nothing can exhale forever. But we kind of have this model where, interesting enough, I felt like the model that we were kind of basing things off of, especially here in the Western world, was an extended inhale. But actually, I believe it's actually the other way around. It's the extended exhale and trying to hold that for as long as possible, and really just trying to pump as much fake prana into that exhale as possible. That's why people are hyperventilating. That's why people's throat chakras are really weak. They're very, very weak. If I had to say that there was a chakra that was the most underdeveloped in most people, especially here in the Western world, it is the throat chakra. You'd think it'd be one of the other 4 chakras that come before it, but I really do feel like it's the throat chakra that is the most at risk right now. I really do believe that. And of course, there are more than 12 chakras, but we can get into that later. My friends, this is a major time. And I hope and I trust that during this time, you experience, even if it's just for a moment, that quintessential connection to all of creation, and realize that this universe was not created, but it is creating. This is a creating universe, not a created universe. And I'm not the one that came up with that. If you want to know more about that, that was a quote from Walter Russell. And I'm probably going to have to link some things in the description below. I think it was Walter Russell or Walker Russell. But anyways, very good information that I've kind of come across, and I feel like it is my duty to share this information with you all. And going back to an earlier point, I'm recognizing that I went off on a tangent. It's funny how people in the spiritual communities are saying, like, I don't know if I'm going to come back here after this life. This place is crazy. But here's the thing. Each and every one of you are going to have loved ones, souls and spirits that you have agreed to know in this lifetime that are going to fall into these cycles that will keep them stuck here. Then they're going to be succumbed to this tyranny that's trying to take over the fucking world unless we do something about it. You will be an ancestor to these people, and you really do have to ask yourself, are you just going to stay away and hope that they know how to connect with you? Or will you come back and help out and help to, I would say, get everyone on the same wave, the true wave, the God wave, the only wave that ever existed and will ever exist. Excuse me. Guys, I think I'm probably going to come back because I know that there's a lot of people that are going to be stuck in these cycles. And I have my own cycles I'm stuck in that I'm working on releasing myself from so I can become the master of these polarities. But there are going to be a lot of people that are still stuck And I want to help them because, as I said, this is a creating universe. And I even thought about the whole term of there's nothing new under the sun. I find that to be bullshit, actually. I find that to be bullshit because each and every one of you is a creator, a co-creator, and the creator, the ultimate, the high, the one God, the one truth, the one wave, the one love, the oneness, if you will, the silence, encourages creating. It encourages genius. Because what is genius? Genius is something that's never been done before. That's why it's genius. So when we say things like there's nothing new under the sun, we are actually discouraging genius. We are guiding people away from that true inner spark and creativity and potential that lies within them. And each of us has that. That includes those on the dark side. The only issue is that many of them are so far removed from their human empathy that their souls are pretty much trapped, and it is tough to pull them out of that muck and mire. Because here's the thing, my friends, with the whole slave owner slave relationship, it is not beneficial to the slave owner to be a slave owner, because the slave owner is still a slave to his own slaves, using tyranny and fear and by any means necessary to dictate and rule over these individuals. This slave owner in turn turns himself into a slave because he has to be there. He has to look after them. He has to keep them in line. Any dealings with slavery has no freedom in it, no matter who is involved, whether it's the slave or the slave owner. But we can see right now that we are enslaved to a system, so there's no sense of freedom in here. But that does not mean that you are not free. What's happening right now is that all of our souls are just clamoring for freedom, for true freedom, to experience it. We didn't come to this earth to suffer like this. We came to earth to experience its majesty and how beautiful and connected and divine it is. You go onto nature, you look, and you can sense its divinity. You can sense it in the leaves, the blades of grass, every pebble of sand on the beach. Every snowflake is different. Even the water in the river is different because it moves and flows. In the words of Pocahontas, you can't step in the same river twice. So why is it that we have outsourced this creativity, this potential, this divine observation of the world around us and in us and of us? Why have we outsourced that to people who believe that they are noble in their causes and that they know what's best for everyone? Why have we done that? For the sake of security and safety. What are we trying to secure ourselves from or save ourselves from? We have always had this sort of complex, the need to be saved. It's been ingrained so much into our psyche. So much into our psyche. It has been ingrained to be saved from something. But my friend, my beloved, you do not need saving. You do not need saving, because nothing is out to get you. And when you realize that nothing is really out to get you, and you reconnect to what is true and real, what is truly real, then you will see those that are trying to take away from others, what they're doing is a cry for help. That being said, they must be fought back against. And we must stand up for what is true and what is right and what is just and what is truly noble. A world where everyone can express themselves free in any given moment at any given time, but also understand and realize their connection to all those around them. It's one thing to express yourself freely, but if you do so in a way that takes away from other people, you are in turn taking away from yourself. We can create a happy world. We can create a beautiful world. We absolutely can. Actually, it's already here. We've just laid our shit on top of it. It's like God painted a masterpiece and we just threw a giant fucking X through it and built cities on top of that X and believed in the X and believed that the X is the only thing that exists and not the painting behind it. And then we disregarded the painter and we believed solely in the X. And that's where we fucked up. It is time to acknowledge the painter of this painting, the orator of this story, the director of this film, the sculptor of this sculpture. The way that we acknowledge it is by realizing that we ourselves are that, an extension of that, co-creators, allowed to be whatever we want to be, and doing our best not to infringe upon the freedoms of others and them being who they want to be. But there's a major infringement right now. The battlefield right now, beloved, the battlefield is for your body and it's for your psychology. These are the last battlefields, telling you that your body is dangerous to other people. This will in turn fuck up your one's psychology if it isn't already fucked up by media and all these other things that they've done to try and fool us and take us away from our creator, from the creator, which we have been one with since the beginning of everything, since eternity. They're trying to take us away from that, beloved. These are the last battlefields. Your body is now a weapon to other people. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? How literally you could walk into a store and sneeze, even if you sneeze properly, like into your arm or something. You may have allergies. You may have just, caught a whiff of something and you sneeze. And now suddenly your body has become a weapon to those around you. Is that where we are right now? And then, of course, there's the psychological battlefield. There's the psychological battlefield. And this is perhaps one of the more cryptic battles that has been going on. But it's being exposed and it's coming out into the light. The psychological warfare on each and every one of us. This psychological warfare has hijacked our understanding of the meaning of all things, which is inherent within every single one of us to know and to come into embodying these things. It is stripped away from us at an early age, to the point where now we have to do so much to try and get back just a sliver of what we were born with. And it's sad that they do this. I myself have found myself rather depressed through all this. Because while I did not necessarily believe in the full hype and hysteria, it has affected me, just as I'm sure it has affected you. Whether you know someone who actually got it, or the financial, economic aspect of it, the emotional or mental aspect of it, it has affected everyone. This is something that we have collectively manifested because we could sense something was wrong. We can sense that something was amiss. We can sense that that which we created was a bastardization of nature and a bastardization of God's masterpiece. I have found myself rather depressed through all this. I have found myself rather lethargic and apathetic. But now, while I'm not saying I won't feel these type of things in the future to varying degrees, I'm realizing it is my duty to speak. It is my duty to stand up. It is my duty to serve. It is my duty to serve you. Because you are me and I am you. True nobility, true nobility in this world is very rare, but it is something that each and every one of us can embody. And if you're listening to this, know that you are that. But to be noble does require bravery and courage, and sometimes doing things that you don't want to fucking do. And it requires sacrificing security and safety, for you are jumping into the unknown. That can be a damn scary thing, because you never know what's lurking in the dark. You never know what's lurking in the dark. They'll have you think that it's a scary boogeyman or a dragon that's going to char you with its flames. But shit, who knows? Maybe that boogeyman is one of your spirit guides. Maybe that dragon is one of your ancestors. So don't listen to the hype. Fuck the hype. I have noticed during this time that the days that I barely go on Facebook or Reddit or any of these social media platforms are some of the most peaceful days and some of the most clarity-driven days. Gotta stay away from that shit. Although, once again, these social media, these are tools, but they are primarily used as tools to drive fear right now, and to also drive vanity, and to drive self-deprecation, and to drive materialism. Nobility has gone out the window. True spirituality has gone out the window. But just because it's out the window doesn't mean that it's not there. Doesn't mean that it can't be obtained. So while we have these tools, while we still have these tools, before they even take these tools away from us, and you can only access these tools if you meet certain criteria, before they get to that point in censoring us, let us utilize these tools to serve each other. Let's utilize these tools to uplift and inspire each other. Let's utilize these tools to unite each other, to celebrate each other's uniqueness, each one's unique character and vibration. Somebody pick a random number between 1 and 400. I'm looking at the comments. So yeah, someone pick a random number between 1 and 400. I'll wait a little bit. I appreciate you all joining me. I really do. Thank you so much. Okay, we got two of them. We got 345 and 222. So I'm going to use both of these numbers. I'm going to just kind of read from this little book I have, the ones that kind of jump out to me. Let's go to 345. 345. Wow, this whole page is good. This whole page is good. I might just read the whole page. Might as well, right? Might as well, right? Okay. So the first line here, meditation on meeting yourself for the first time. Close your eyes and imagine that you are attending a party. A friend comes over and introduces you to yourself. What are your first impressions? How does the conversation go? What behaviors and mannerisms do you observe? From this neutral viewpoint, locate your strengths and weaknesses. Use the awareness you have gained as a basis for personal change. I like that. I really like that. Number 2 on the page. Be grateful even for difficult emotions because they have the potential to wake you up. We got some heavy hitters on this page. Seeing the bigger picture visualization. Take a few moments to stop and become aware of yourself, then broaden your perspective to include everything around you. After a while, let your awareness expand to include everything within a couple of miles of you, then expand it to include everything in the whole country. Finally, let your awareness expand yet further, taking in the entire planet, moving through the solar system. Be aware that you are a part of this planet, but that you are so small, you are essentially invisible. In light of this expansive view of the world, feel how insignificant your worries are. Try to maintain this perspective as you zero back in on yourself. Tell yourself that your worries and concerns are so small and that you will have no trouble handling them. Excellent reads. Excellent reads. And of course, you can always go back and re-listen to those if you need to. I may even go back and timestamp those. But let's go to page 222. Let's see what we got on this page. Okay. Meditate on your speech. If you sleep with a loved one, give him or her a cuddle when you wake up in the morning. Appreciate the gift that he or she is to you. For good karma, plant positive seeds. Have faith, be good, wait patiently. Acknowledge emotions for what they are and allow them to pass through you like wind through the leaves of a tree. Just let them exist without judging or getting caught up in them. This is a quote from the Daodejing by Lao Tzu, which is one of my favorite works of poetry. In dwelling, live close to the ground. In thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, do not try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. I love that. And one of the things I'm going to point out in there that I thought was very important is the in governing, do not try to control. Our government is a bastardization, and I've used that word quite a bit, but the true government is nature, and nature does not control itself. It just is. It's perfect. It ebbs and flows. There is no control in nature. Nature is the one true government. We've gotten away from it. Explore nature blindfolded with the help of a partner. Ooh, that would be a good one. I like that one. Do you have a tendency to speculate? Catch yourself each time you do so and come back to the experience of the breath. Take a moment to settle yourself before the rush of the day begins. Let the profound calm act like an anchor, a reminder that there is silence under the chaos. I think we really need that one right now. Silence under the chaos. Overcome the habit of rushing things to completion. Ask yourself, what am I doing? This is a great resource that I have. In fact, I will share this as well in the comments or at least in the description. And I got this book. I want to say, I don't know if I got it on Amazon or if I bought it at a bookstore, but you probably could find it. It's just Self-Meditation, 3,299 Tips, Quotes, and Reminders, and Wake-Up Calls for Peace and Serenity by Barbara Ann Kipfer. So it's a very good resource. I highly recommend it. I refer to it quite a bit. There's a lot of good things in there, as you can hear. So I think that just about does it for this episode. Guys, I think I'm going to end up coming back here because I have loved ones that I care for so deeply and that I want to see reach their potential. I am a spiritual server. I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve through my creativity, through my passion, through my inspiration and motivation. And yeah, it's been tough lately. It's been tough on all of us, you know? But as one of those things that book says, like, realizing that your worries are so small and insignificant, I'm going to start focusing on the big picture, guys. Start focusing on the big picture. That we are free beings in an endless, boundless universe that always has been and always will be. Thank you all so much. You guys are the reason I do this. Y'all really are. So I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. You know, I feel like I'm getting my mojo back. Nothing even matters at all. Exactly. Nothing even matters at all. That's kind of funny because if you really think about it, no thing, and then we have matter, which matter is kind of an illusion, right? It's just the illusion of things vibrating. So yeah, nothing really does matter. But while we are in this, I guess, matter, why not experience some beauty and have some fun and some happiness and joy and all these sort of things? I don't know about you guys, but I'm saying fuck the bullshit and fuck the suppression. Nah. Yeah, fuck all that shit. I am free. And there's not a damn thing in this world that can take that away from me. And if they do, well, or if they try to, well, shit, they're going to have to take me out. But I'll come right back and I will bring the fucking force with me. So I love you all so much. Y'all take care. Stay blessed. And I will see you all very, very soon. Continue to radiate love. Continue to serve. And continue along the path of true nobility. Y'all take care. Stay blessed. Love you all so much. Peace.